Speaking of weird, this is the one that right before the show started, producer River goes, just gonna say this one thing. USC money line. Notre Dame at USC. Notre Dame is a 6.5-point favorite. Notre Dame okay. Actually, before I say anything that sounds definitive, I want to ask you this. Does Notre Dame need to win this to make the college football playoff?
I'm not 100% sure of that anymore, but I think so.
I think so as well, but I think you may be right. There may be a little wiggle room there. Were you surprised at the spread?
No. Were you?
I was surprised. I thought Notre Dame would be favored by more.
I think USC is a pretty good team that does a lot of really stupid shit. Like
Put
when
that
you
on a
watch
bumper
them
sticker.
play,
That's the T-shirt right there.
Like when you watch them play, you feel like they should be better than they are, in my opinion.
Yes, agreed.
So I understand to a certain extent of like, if this spread was Notre Dame minus 11.5 or something, like I would take USC, I think. Like that's a lot of points. Like that, you just got to get to a point where you have people taking action on both sides. And I feel like Notre Dame is going to win. I don't know that they're going to go in and blow them out. And also too, when you go back to the way that I broke down the Colorado game before they lost to Kansas, I kind of feel the same way about Notre Dame here a little bit of like, it's been a long time since something was hard for them. Like we've gone 2 months since Notre Dame has been in a game that it could lose. Like, are we just going to anticipate that they win 9 in a row to close their season without having to break a sweat? Like, is that where we're at?
You basically predicted that after they lost to Northern Illinois.
I predicted they would win all their games. I didn't predict that they would not sweat. I think that like there is an ease meter here, and I don't know. I think that Notre Dame is going to have to sweat at some point to get into this thing. There's no way that it could be that easy. So I think that Notre Dame will win. I think they might even cover, but like the spread makes perfect sense to me.
So this is, again, where gambling and real life diverge. All Notre Dame needs to win is by 1 point. Doesn't matter how they win. So it's just like Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Just win the game. I still think Notre Dame covers here because I can see this kind of shaking out like last year's USC Notre Dame game, which I realized was in South Bend, so different circumstances. But where if things don't go well early for USC, Notre Dame just kind of starts to pour it on. But if Notre Dame makes a couple mistakes early, USC's in this game, then it goes 4 quarters. It's a 1-possession game. But I will take Notre Dame to just kind of wear them out. The Georgia Tech Notre Dame game is the game I'm kind of comparing this to, where pretty good team, pretty good opponent. Now, granted, Georgia Tech did not have the quarterback situation it wanted in that game, but it was close for a half, and then Notre Dame just wore them out. I can see Notre Dame just wearing them out and covering. So I'm going to take Notre Dame to cover here.
I want to actually ask you for like real life help on real life gambling for me.
Okay.
So when Notre Dame lost to NIU, we were together.
We were, yeah.
On the way home from that trip, I put in a $400 bet that Notre Dame would make the playoff at 5-1. Do you think I should take the points here as a semi-hedge in real life?
No, because I actually think, well, like we said,
because I can middle it too.
There's a non-zero chance that Notre Dame makes the playoff as a 2-loss team.
Yeah, they don't have any good enough. I don't think they have good enough wins, man.
I don't think so. But
yeah.
Ari, what happens if all the 2-loss teams lose this week?
It's definitely not a non-zero chance.
Yeah,
that's
the problem. Is if all the 2-loss teams lose and they're the only ones left, like they're probably still getting in.
Yeah, I'm just sitting on. I win $2,000 if Notre Dame wins on Saturday, and I'm thinking about maybe putting 500 on USC just to cover the 6.5, because if I don't, then I win 1,500, and there's a chance I can middle it.
Now you may win both ways,
right? You
may win both ways in that situation.
Like Notre Dame wins by 5, they make the playoff. I cash the game ticket, and then I cash the. I'm just trying to like think this through. So,
I think it is a likely outcome that Notre Dame just leans on USC in the second half and USC just breaks.
Yeah.
And it becomes a 17-point game, something like that.
And I think I would live with that. I think I'm going to take USC plus 6.5 in real life just for the total bet amount. So I'm living in a free roll, hope for a middle, and if Notre Dame wins by 100, then cash the 1,500 or 1,600. Like I think that's what.
Yeah, but you're also good in the middle. Like the middle's a real possibility there.
Yeah,
which would be great for you.
But I actually think that Notre Dame will cover this. I think that it won't be easy. I think that they'll probably win by 7 to 10. But I like Notre Dame in the game, like for show's purposes.
All right.